Go ahead.
This is, the title is The Penal System and Ways to Slow Down Recidivism and How I Can Prove It. According to the article, Incarceration, Nonviolent offenders, 1 in 143 in the USA. We are the highest incarcerated country in the world today. Americans versus Europe is 1 in 143. Europe is 1 in 1,000. So this is the United States. We lead in incarceration. And I got it cited by Bing over off of Google. Let me turn that a little bit so you guys can see that. All right. Now, according to explicit criteria, the findings indicate that basic education shows promise in reducing recidivism. And that's by Cecil Don, and he's the author of the article that I just read the little paraphrase to. And the effectiveness of the adult basic education and life skills program is reducing recidivism. A review assessment research journal of correction education, volume 51, number 2, 2000. All right, here, let me fix this real quick. All right, and that was the statistics. Okay. Now, reentering society with different skills help have a wider range of opportunities for the individuals. Having basic skills will allow the individual to seek more employment. If I did not have any education, I'd have never been hired, you know. And I've been to a lot of job interviews in my life. So, you know, most employers today require a GED or high school diploma. And that's what type of education needs to be instilled in the penal system. Now, the ability to produce the desire you want when it comes to recidivism in the penal system is not going to happen by osmosis. You know, it's like no job, time well spent or wasted time. You know, are we going to waste time? Or are we going to spend time doing what we can to come out and be better productive members of society? You know, well, I don't want to be this individual here that wasted that time. They wasted a lot of time, I'll tell you that. You know, education vocational training studies show so far certain prisons have adapted to this approach, and the recidivism is decreasing. There are not many prisons or institutions that have programs like this one, but the programs that have been instilled inside the prison systems have been finding value in helping these inmates to get job skills and more education. The findings were clear and provided the inmates with the education program and vocational training that they needed. From returning to prison, and it improves their job prospects. And that was done by Davis, and she's cited up there. This right here, I got on Pinterest. You know, I can't read it all, but they say this is about recidivism, you know? And the inmates are sitting at their desk, and they're actually on a visit, you know? I wonder what they're talking about. Maybe they're talking about their job skills and their education that they're receiving in the penitentiary. Now, unfortunately, most penitentiaries don't have this to give to the inmates, but the ones that do get lucky enough to go to a prison as of this, you know, it does slow down recidivism and gives them a better chance, you know. And like I said before, statistics did prove that not having job skills before you get out of prison or education before you get out of prison, you know, starts the cycle all over again, you know. People are out there trying to get money for their families, jobs, houses, and all that. And then what do? Instead of getting that good job, they revert back to their old ways, you know. And that might not even be in the front of their brain, but you know, it happens. It says here, when having vocational setting involved, it sets a foundation for improvement and gives confidence to the offender that re-enters society. Having an education provides opportunity of the big world of employment, you know. If you have some type of skill to bring to the workforce, you have a better chance of being employed, able to make a livable wage. These offenders deserve a chance to reshape themselves through the benefits of these programs. Employment has been identified as a recidivism factor. Criminology need of criminals that have committed criminal offenses. Effective corrective intervention, education, and vocational programming will lower recidivism. And that's done by Dahl, you know, that's the author. Some of us slipped away, you know. Some of us, you know, eventually we were locked up. You know, people were locked up. You know, does anybody know anybody that's been locked up?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You? Me too. I was, you know, but I fortunately got some of them classes, you know, and I started creating new things, new atmosphere, new life, new surroundings, new skills, you know. I've never been back, you know. 2012 was the last time I was ever incarcerated in my life, you know, and today, you know, I'm not ashamed of my past, you know, because of that, you know, and if it wasn't for prison systems like this, you know, that gave me the job skills and the opportunities, you know, to have the confidence to get out and do things, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know, I have a good job, good career, you know, good family, you know, 3 dogs, I'll tell you what, them are some nice dogs, you know. So, like I said, some of us slipped away. Maybe there's no rhyme or reason for that, you know. But we say, why do these things happen, you know? Some of us, you know, it just happened, you know, and we slipped back into society's ways in the world, you know. I mean, I could tell you, you know, the inmates that get out, they're hopeful, you know, if they're in these programs. They are hopeful that employers will look past their past and employ them, you know. And it's already bad enough, you know, when you have a strike on your record, you know. Employers look at that, you know, and only way employers going to ever change their mind if they have something else, you know, to base off of, to say, well, you know, this guy was creative. He tried. He got an education, you know, but without the opportunity, you don't have that opportunity to get that job that you want, you know. I don't know what kind of job you'll get, but it's not going to be a good one. I can tell you that much, you know. Being a productive member of society with no coping skills would be hard for anyone. I couldn't even imagine how hard not having education and not having these educational programs would be for me even, you know. And the vocational programs are helpful. It does take effort and it does take funds, but Kansas City State had some success, you know. Like I said, in Europe, recidivism rate was 1 in 1,000. You know, and Europe is 1 in 1. America's 1 in 143, and Europe's 1 in 1,000. That's a significant difference. You know, American people are returning to the penal systems at rapid rates. Knowing what we know today about what has been written by scholars and the evidence that has been presented above about the reduction of the recidivism rate, Wood Warriors, you know. We should put all job skills in the penal system, and we should put all the education in the penal system so the people that are nonviolent offenders could have a chance. You know, and then they can get some more hope that they'll get the education that they need. You know? Now this right here, this is the prison Centralia. That's where I was, you know? That's where they gave me my electronics degree, you know, and I graduated the apprenticeship program, you know, they had graduation caps and gowns and everything, you know. So this is something that builds confidence, you know, and allows a person to want to put effort into the things that they're going to do afterwards, you know. the afterwards, you know, and to develop coping skills, you know, job skills, you know, people skills even, you know. When it comes to the penal system, educational and vocational programs are needed. They help us create productive members of society. The programs reduce recidivism and teach valuable coping skills. With no education, the chances of success are down. With education, the chances of success are greater than it would be. These issues with recidivism are not going away unless America and people stand up and do something about it. You know, and vocational programs inside all penal systems is a start. The programs do show that the ones who have adapted to this way of working with inmates in a penal system where they're allocated have stated as fact it reduces recidivism rate, and clearly it helps offenders to become productive upon the re-entry to leave with job skills, coping skills, and education. Education, recidivism, California, 61%, 43%, 51%. 43% stay out with the education. 61% stay out with education and jobs. And the rest of them come back, 51%, with no jobs and no skills. Do good after prison. Man, I love to do good after prison, you know, and I love not to even be in prison. That's even better, you know. Job well done. I will tell you what, now that's a job well done. And I have proven to you guys that job skills and education is definitely needed in the penal system.